It's Pastor David, and I'm here with our Thursday update. And today I have a very special guest, a good friend and leader in our church, Dave Johnston. Dave, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Dave, you've been with your family, Sally, and your family. You've been a part of our church for a long time, and you have served in a number of leadership positions, and you are now currently, among other things, the chair of our trustees committee, which deals with all the property and all of the insurance. And so that's a pretty big task. And one of the things that happens is that puts you on the leadership council, which is the board that does the overall decisions of the church, but it also makes you a trustee of the Marcy Trust. So it's a pretty big responsibility. Tell us a little bit about the Marcy Trust.
All right, happy to do that. The trust was established by Susan Marcy with her last will and testament in 1977. And basically the trust document, the will contains 3 paragraphs that forth the guidelines of how establishing the trust, who will be the trustees, and how the money will be distributed. And there are 3 trustees. She stipulated. One would be the chair of the finance, the chair of the board of trustees. One would be another member of the church, and the third person would be the financial chair of the conference, the CFO of the Florida Conference.
Right.
And the trust documents, the will stipulates how the money will be managed and distributed, and the first 2 paragraphs dealing with the trust stipulate the proceeds how the proceeds will be distributed. And the trust is now a total return unit trust that distributes a defined percentage of the assets each year. The trust assets are professionally managed by 2 firms, and the trustees periodically meet with the companies to review the work that is being done. And so that there's no misunderstanding, I think it best for me to read from the will on how the distribution of the income from the Marcy Trust shall function. And to quote it, it says, distribution to churches or institutions sponsored or affiliated with the Florida Conference of the United Methodist Church. Although I prefer the income to be used to benefit the United Methodist Church's programs in the state of Florida, particularly the First United Methodist Church of Winter Park, I direct the trustees may use the income for churches or institutions located in the Southeast states. The second paragraph concerning distribution is very important because it applies to how it would apply to our church, the Winter Park Church. And it states, quote, I want the church to use any income that will be distributed to it in a manner that will encourage its membership to support its programs rather than permitting the congregation to assume that the trust's income can replace their individual efforts, end of quote.
No. So if I understand, see if I can summarize this. So the Marcys love their church. They were active members in our church. They believe they are the family that blessed us with the lot that we park on every Sunday. And they left this wonderful gift that is not ours, but which blesses us as a primary recipient. That is, we have trustees that sit on it, but it's also has a broader context. It's not just something we control or something that we as a church receive all of. What we do, we are blessed by them. And what I hear you saying, and I think if I remember, Mrs. Marcy really didn't want the church to become dependent upon this wonderful blessing. but to use it as sort of an encouragement and a spurring on to new things rather than replacing existing, paying the light bills or those kind of things that it takes to be a church. Am I getting that right?
That's definitely correct. That is our understanding of it. We, in reviewing grant applications, the trustees meet periodically and review written grant applications. We try to think back on how would Ms. Marcy want this money to be distributed. And they were they loved the music program of the church. And so one of the continuing support that the Marcy Trust provides is for the scholarship program for the singers in the chancel choir and the music program at Christmas called the Gloria, where the Marcy Trust provides the funds for the orchestra there. But,
absolutely, what a gift. Some of the other things that you've seen the Marcy Foundation assist, and I know, for example, I see they encourage us with our tithing. They help match tithing gifts that are increased and are new. They don't replace our tithing. They try to spur on additional growth of that tithing. What other areas have you seen the Marcy at work?
We have to improve the quality of our sanctuary. The revision to the chancel area was funded by Marcy, as well as the new speaker system in the chancel. I know that has improved hearing of the speakers. We have also, the Marcy Trust has also funded the construction over at Reeves for the counseling center, which is a great new mission program that the church is having. When we are open, the fiscal year of the trust starts on February 1, and we receive written applications for grants. We look to have them justified and in writing, and the trustees meet periodically, once a quarter probably. We try to meet and review and make grant approvals, and we ask also for feedback on how the grant is used.
So I know that they have the Marcy Trust has also participated in the Bob Bouchon Scholarship Program at Duke, and which is a tremendous gift to those from Central Florida, and has sponsored a number of conference initiatives for training and for education, for clergy and so forth. And so it's had a broad reach, not just at our church. We, of course, have been really blessed, but it blesses United Methodist churches across Florida and even the Southeast.
And they have provided scholarships for divinity students at Emory, the Candler School, as well as the Bouchon, Marcy Bouchon Scholarship Fund at Duke Divinity. So
it's a wonderful way, I think what a wonderful example of ways that we can continue to bless people beyond our own presence here. Is a way for people to continue ministry, to set up something like this that doesn't weaken a family of a church family, but actually spurs them on to greater things. And so I'm very grateful for the Marcy's. Dave, I'm really grateful for you and your leadership, and along with Nancy Hannaford, who is our other trustee, and Craig Smelser, the conference treasurer, and the work that you do. And that's a lot when you consider all the trustees, Dave, that you do, and then also this. Tell us a little personal question. Tell us, you have some grandchildren. I think you're pretty proud of.
Yes, we have our son and his wife Mary Beth live in Winter Park, and they're members of our church, and I believe Mary Beth serves as chair of the MSCE board.
Does. Yeah.
And their oldest son David is an up and coming senior at Duke University. And their second child, Ben, is an up and coming sophomore at Purdue in engineering. And then their third, our only granddaughter, is an upcoming junior at Winter Park High in the IB program. And then we have two grandchildren in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. Our daughter lives there, and our her oldest is a upcoming sophomore at Wofford College, and then her second child is a sophomore at high school in Mount Pleasant.
That's outstanding. I know you're proud of them. And Dave, thank you for coming on today and giving us a little bit of history about the Marcy, and for your presence as a leader in our church.
Thank you very much, David. I'm blessed and I'm so happy to serve.